we just had Wales' strongest man at the Cardiff International Sports Campus. We had the biggest sporting attendance here at Wales' strongest man, with over 1,500 screaming fans for our 12 athletes. And what a show it was, Martin.
What a show. We had everything, but what we had the most of, apart from the passion from the athletes, was the sun. It's been absolutely roasting. It's probably one of the hottest days of the year here in Cardiff. It's been grueling. So put the weight, the weight of everything, but let's take into consideration for this competition the heat as well today and how well them athletes have done.
And we have to say well done to Martin for bearing that 30-degree heat today, because look at his back. That's the sun cream reacting off his top and the sweat as well. I think you're sweating more than the athletes.
I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? I know. It's not my proudest moment, let me tell you.
Event number 1 was the tire flip, 400 kilos as per the UK Strongest Man. You would have seen on Channel 5. These guys had it in the Wales Strongest Man event as well.
Yeah.
If they wanted to make UK Strongest Man, which the top 3 were going to, they had to flip this tire up a 20-metre course. And the fastest man was a UK Strongest Man competitor, Desmond Gahan, at the Viking. And I mean, he was the Viking. He went flying up that course.
Do you know what? I looked at Des just before he come out, and he had this look on his face. It looked like he was going to kill me, actually, to be totally honest. He looked focused. You wouldn't get in his way at that point. He come out for this competition fired up. Remember, he's a proud Welshman, like they all are, but blimey, he come out fired up. Never seen anything like it.
He did, and at 42.62, he just nipped in front of Luke Sperduti.
Yeah, Sperduti was brilliant. Yeah.
Of 42.6, just pipped him to the post there, who was in second place in that event. And another shout out I do want to give to in there was Garrett Kahn. Garrett Kahn is such a big athlete, Martin. I believe he lost a little bit of weight from the last Wales' Strongest Man. He was third, and he flew up that course, the cannon they call him.
The cannon, yeah. And your dad was making all sorts of cannon innuendos as he was going up the course, and I was trying to, but you know what? He was right. He was absolutely flying, which was brilliant. And you're right to give him a shout out, Marcus, because he deserves it. He was fantastic.
And in the second discipline, we had the Daddy Dumbbell, 90 kilos as absolute pain. And again, this has been in the UK Strongest Man. Martin, tell what is so different about this dumbbell compared to the other dumbbell?
It's a thick handle, and the size of it. They like to place a dumbbell in a certain way, and you can't really do that with this Daddy Dumbbell. When it doesn't sit very well on the shoulders. It's big, awkward. Remember, it's one hand press. You got to bring that hand away.
And they're barely getting their hands around it.
No, they're not getting
so it's becoming really, really difficult.
Look at them hands. Them hands would have no chance getting around that handle. Not a chance.
And in this discipline, we were a wee bit worried, because we were in Scotland 2 weeks ago, and only 3 men pressed this.
Yes, they did. Yeah, and it was a real problem. We were looking at each other in that competition.
And it was the last 3 that actually pressed it, which made it even worse.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the Welsh guys are a lot better than the Scots. So if any Scots are out there, you need to get training on that dumbbell. Get yourself a dumbbell and start training it, because 5 men out of 12 here press the dumbbell. David Rampley, Luke Sperduti, Matt Diamond. Matt Diamond was third in that discipline with 2 repetitions. Yeah. Current Wales Strongest Man.
Yeah,
we hadn't mentioned him yet. He was defending his title, a title that he's held on for, Martin.
Yeah.
And he's very proud to have that
he's
title.
Massively proud, Marcus. He's a massively proud Welshman. Just as I said, just like them all. But he is massively proud to be holding that title.
And in second place in that event was Mark Jeans. Mark Jeans, a really seasoned competitor with 3 repetitions. But the winner was Garrett Kahn, the cannon, with 4 repetitions. I mean, his shoulders are that huge, the dumbbell just rested on it. And made it really, really easy for him. But 4 repetitions, Martin.
Well, I spoke to him after. 4 repetitions was fantastic. But there's a man right there, focused, fired up. He's great to interview as well. From an MC point of view, he's an absolute dream to MC, because he wants to talk, he wants to tell you, he wants to say that, and he made a statement at that point that he was coming for the title. He threw it down there and then, mate.
He's a good bit of character. I was speaking
it's what you need, it's what the sport needs.
I was speaking to him backstage, and he was so relaxed.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Really nice guy, really supportive of all the athletes as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Event number 3 was the truck pull, but in an arm over arm fashion, which is a bit different to what the girls were doing. The guys had to do a bit of a 30-metre dash.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish we could do a bit of a compilation of all the different dashes, because
there was
the guys' running styles were
Yeah.
totally different. We had T-Rexes, we had kind of like...
Yeah, they were, yeah. Some of them were a little bit more, methodical,
But no, the winner of that event, a man who actually won this discipline in UK Strongest Man, the UK Strongest Man final in fact,
Yep.
David Rampley, the Raptor, a man who was on a mission today. He is built for this event. Big long arms, big arm legs. He got onto that platform and he used every inch of his might to pull that truck up the 20-metre course.
What we learned through that event was, if you get it and pull it and keep pulling at the start, the truck moves and then it doesn't stop moving. Few early doors were going, they were doing short pulls at the start or too short, and the truck was moving a little bit, stopping. It was causing all sorts of problems. And do you know what? I think the others learnt from that very, very early. Others would have known as anyway, like David Rampley, he's an experienced athlete in truck pull, and he knew he gets hold of that. He's a big man, as you said, Marcus. Big pull, back he went with it. The truck's moving, he puts in a fast time.
His time was 50.15, just pipping Desmond Gahan, another athlete he was focused, as Martin said, throughout the competition.
Yeah.
And someone Harry actually mentioned, he was giving them a wee bit of advice about the truck, the arm over arm.
Yeah.
And some of the guys weren't even listening to him, Martin.
No, I know.
A very experienced athlete.
You always want to listen to Terry. Terry will give you little nuggets. He'll give every athlete will do, have a little nugget off of them, here and there, and they're allowed to do that, of course, and they should listen, take that advice. But then again, if they've trained a certain way, they're not going to, I understand why they might be focused on, but if it depends whether it works for them or not, right? Marcus, you know what I mean?
And a little shout out goes to Ben Pascoe, a guy we haven't mentioned yet, a new guy on the scene. I've not heard of him, and he's certainly made a name for himself today. In 5th place, he pulled the truck 15.72.
I made an early comment, would Pascoe pass go? And he certainly did, and he took 200 quid as well, because he was fantastic. Sorry about that, terrible.
Event number 4 was the Sandbag, shouldering 130 kilos. There was a bit of a record in the UK Strongest Man. I believe it was around five or six, maybe a little bit more. But the athletes had 75 seconds, which is not a lot of time. 130 kilos. I mean, it turned into a bit of a cardio kind of event. But the winner was David Rampley, 7 repetitions, and it come down to technique in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really averaging just over 10 seconds a rep, which is absolutely insane.
It was crazy. It was crazy to watch. Do you know what? He was just so quick at the event. It was unreal. As you say, come down to a bit of, come down to just a rep fest for him, really.
Yeah, it was good. We had Mark Jeans in there along with Matt Diamond and Luke Sperduti, who all thought they had won the discipline because they had 6 repetitions. And David was the last one out, and he come out and done 7 repetitions.
Yeah.
A special shout out has to go out to Josh Edwards. Josh Edwards, one of the smallest guys in the contest, and one of Martin's ginger mates.
One of my lot.
He done you proud in that event with 2 repetitions.
Yeah, he certainly did. And do you know what? Josh Edwards, he's getting better and better every competition as well. You have to look at these athletes when they're coming in. They're getting better and better. They're improving all the time. Josh Edwards, hang in there. Do you know what? You've got a big future in this sport. You keep going, my ginger brother.
And the final discipline was the stones of strength. 160 kilos was the final stone, as per again the UK Strongest Man. My dad was pushing these guys, Martin, giving these guys the UK Strongest Man events as such. To only find probably the top 3 here that would go on to there. Why do you think that was? Is he just?
Well, he's been. Do you know what? I don't know, Marcus. You know what?
He's just a bad man.
Yeah, you know what? He just doesn't like to give it to him easy, and rightfully so. Do you know what? He always wants the biggest, the heaviest, the most awkward. That's what Ultimate Strongman's about to your dad. And do you know what? The athletes respect that as well. It's something different, it's something hard, it's something tough, and it's something out of the ordinary.
Well, let's look at the stones. And there was no man who finished all the stones, which is a bit of a disappointment. But again, we mentioned on the other video that the tacky was probably a little bit too runny.
It's the same again.
160 kilo. And that 160 kilo is so wide. I think the circumference is around 23 inches in diameter as well. And it's quite hard to grip. and a lot of the athletes would find that really difficult. But the winner in that event, the second event win of the day, was Garrett Can with 27.1 for 4 stones. Really, really impressive, Martin.
It was impressive. Do you know what? It did get a bit lost in the drama of the last pairing that went out, because that's where the title was going, so it did get slightly lost, and I feel sorry for Garrett on that one a little bit, because there's always a fuss made around the event winner, but of course Garrett, he took that event, probably needed a bit more of a fanfare at the end of it for him, in fairness, but you know what, it was hot, it was horrible, the tacky was malfunctioning, so for him to pull that out of the bag and get an event, he'll take that and move on with that. Because I tell you what, Garrett Can had his competition for me. Garrett Can, definitely, he can challenge at the very top here in Wales, let me tell you. He's got a big future.
And as Martin said, the focus was on the top 2 at this stage, was David Rampley and Luke Sperduti. It was a bit of a shootout. They were both I think Luke Sperduti was 2 points behind going into the stones. So he had to beat David Rampley, and he did beat David Rampley. He had 35.09 and got third in that discipline. But David Rampley was 5th and only got 3 stones and 16.05. He had the quickest 3 stones out of the whole lot.
Yeah.
But that, we don't really want to split it, but it come down the count back, the overall standards, and that's what we're going to go over.
Well,
but
before we do, let me just tell you, at that point in the competition, no one, and I mean no one, the best mathematician in there, because I asked Terry works everything out, he will tell me where everyone is. He went, I haven't got a clue. He went, the scores are all over the place in respect of people nicking points here and there and everything else. So I'll tell you what, we was all like, no one knows who's got this. We was all looking at each other. Well, looking at you, Marcus, you had the scores.
Yeah. And in 3rd place was Mark Jeans. Mark Jeans, very consistent strongman, 47 points. He was pushing those top 2 all the way. He was very consistent. He had a few podium places throughout all the different positions, and he is back, 4 times champion of this title. And I'm sure he'll be back. He'll be making UK strongest man, and he'll be looking to beat his 3rd place finish that he done when Gavin Bilton won his first title.
I think he'll look at that as a win in his own, a win for him personally. And do you know what? It makes a statement. James is back. He knows he can compete at this level. Do you know what now, Mark? Put your head on now, yeah? That same head that won this title 4 times, get yourself back and make it a 5th time. Jeansy, it's over to you now. Only you, the only person who can beat Mark Jeans is Mark Jeans, let me tell you. So get back to where you was, Mark, and get back. Do you know what? World's strongest man, you've got it in your locker, I promise you.
And in 2nd place with 49.5 points was Luke Sperduti. He's on the rise, Martin.
Oh,
he is the young
another one of mine.
The young pretender, the ginger. They call him the spud. They call him the spud at his gym.
Yeah.
He was no spud there, Martin. He has come 2nd in Wales' strongest man. He goes on the UK strongest man.
Can't wait to see him.
Smith. He was so consistent. He lost out the count back because he didn't win the event. He was that consistent. I think he had 2nds, 3rds, 4ths, and he just had everything but an event win. So look, get yourself down to the gym and win an event, because count back is everything in strongman. So many places. It is, and he's going to feel. No. Do you know what? He done everything right today. Yeah, Luke Sperduti is just like Mark Jeans did, but Luke Sperduti's got years on Mark now. He's younger. Do you know what? He will be a massive talent. He will go as far as he wants to go, Luke Sperduti. And he's a big man. He's a big presence, big ginger. You can't miss him. You know what I mean? He talks well. Loves the sport, comes back, he's just got better and better and better. And Luke Sperduti, another one, and I know I get passionate about this, but you know what? I love to see it. He's fantastic. And he was awarded the Warriors Axe
for
deserved. That spirit. And I have to say, he was probably not short. Garrett Can was probably up there as well, so shout out to Garrett.
Garrett must have been close, but I'll tell you what, if Garrett Can or Luke Sperduti hadn't got that Warriors Axe, I would have let your dad's tyres down on his van so he was late getting back over to Ireland, because it was deserved. It was absolutely deserved, 100%. I wouldn't have told him I'd done it, by the way. But
And the winner on countback, he won the arm over arm, and he also won the sandbag shouldering, was David Rampley, the Raptor. He is Wales' strongest man. He is going on the UK strongest man. He made the final last year, this year, and he's coming for Paul Smith's title. Martin.
Well, let me tell you something about David. We was all talking about him before this. We was all talking about David Rampling. And do you know what? There's a bit of me that thinks, you know what? Are we overhyping him? No, we wasn't. He is that good. He's absolutely fantastic. He deserves that win today, Marcus. Absolutely deserved it, 100%. And we're talking about athletes on the rise. Well, he has rose. He is here. He's world's strongest man. Trust me, next year he'll be back. He'll be better than ever. He'll be defending the world's strongest man title, and then he'll be coming for the UK strongest man title, because he will not stop now. He is getting better and better and better.
There you go. And that dumbbell press, he's not a big presser, Martin. He got the one rep, and that made the title for me.
That's where, yeah.
Seeing him lift that dumbbell, and you'll be able to see from the video what it meant to him when he actually lifted that dumbbell and pressed that. He knew that was it.
He's working on his weaknesses, and it works on his weaknesses. That's it. Everything else falls into place. You know.
Well, there you go, Paul Smith. David Rampling is coming for your title.
If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe below, and let's see some great comments of what you'd like to say. And if you want to go to an Ultimate Strongman show, get your tickets, ultimatestrongman.tv, and we'll see you there.